What's up everyone, welcome to Knife Craze 2.0. Today we're going to be talking about multi-tools. Are they good for carry? Maybe they're not good for carry. Why is that? What extra uses do you get over a multi-tool than you would a normal knife? That kind of stuff. So to start out, I'd like to start by saying that I do have a multi-tool. If you saw my last video, you'll know that I have a Leatherman Wingman multi-tool. Now, personally, I really like this multi-tool. It has a fair amount of tools on it, you know, nothing too fancy. Just your general type of tools, you know. It's enough that you can carry it every day and you're going to have what you need to repair small things. Is it going to be able to fix a bike? Are you going to be able to fix your car with it? Or your motorcycle? Probably not. Not because of the selection of tools on it, but because the tools are simply too small. I myself was out for a bike ride once, and my back tire, it kind of snapped, actually. Honestly, I don't know what happened. Something to do with the frame or the tire. It snapped. And all I had on me at the time was this multi-tool. So I opened up the pliers. I started trying to, you know, go to town on it, trying to fix it. I couldn't. I could have if I had a larger wrench, but because all I had was this and the pliers were not designed to grip it, I wasn't able to fix it. So there's that. Now, speaking of weight, the difference between carrying this and carrying this is the weight, okay? That's just one of the factors, actually. First off, this thing's a lot heavier than this knife. Okay, I don't have a scale here, so I can't really weigh it for you, but I can tell you just by, feel that this really outweighs this. This I can put in my pocket, and I barely realize it's there. This, if I put in my pocket, it feels like there's an anchor tied to my pants. And it just feels really clunky in the pocket. I mean, for example, I always put in my right pocket like that. I feel that it's there. If I'm riding my bike, I can feel it in that pocket pushing up against my leg. Right? But if I put this knife in my pocket, I don't feel it near as much. Because, one, it's just slightly thinner. Okay? It's slightly thinner in some way. But it is. It's smaller is the point. It's slightly smaller, and it just fits the contours of my leg better. This, on the other hand, it's thick, it's clunky, it's like a brick. I feel it in there every single moment. And, sure, this may be more practical in terms of use because I have a wide range of tools. It's just heavy and it's just clunky. Legality, when it comes to speaking of legality, if you're in a really strict area when it comes to laws on knife carry, sure, this right here might get you in less trouble with the cops, because with this, all this has on it is a blade, and it's black. And if it's black and it's got a blade on it and it's tactical looking, you're a serial killer, right? Well, that's the way the cops think. So if you're carrying this, you might have a problem. I personally never have. But if you're carrying this, it's brightly colored. It's got more than just a knife on it. Not only that, the knife is not even as long as the palm of my hand, as I said in my last video about Canada's palm length, knife length laws. So you could easily carry this, and it doesn't appear to be as threatening as that knife. So that's another aspect of it. You got to think about that when it comes to carrying a tool. If you're really serious about carrying a knife, and maybe your area laws don't allow it, and you got the money, you could move somewhere else. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of people don't have the money to just get up and go at a moment's notice just because they want to carry a knife. So that's why the laws really come into play here, and that's why the multi-tool may be a better choice. Another thing I want to mention is how others would react to it. Not necessarily to police, but just other people in general. Let's say you're walking down the street, or you walk into a convenience store, and let's say somebody sees this on you, right? Especially if you carry outside the pocket. Let's say they see a knife on you. Let's say the knife's on your keys if it's got a keychain loop. That person might get scared and call the cops because most people can identify this as a knife even when it's folded. This, on the other hand, I gotta say, if I saw this on, on somebody's belt or somebody's pocket, or if this was on a keychain somehow, if I had seen it before I got into knives and multi-tools and all that stuff, I probably wouldn't even know what it is, right? So this might not scare the public as much. And, I agree people should learn to have more balls, but then again, not everybody is so understanding as to why people like us carry these tools. So that's something else to consider. But at the end of the day, I really think that the good old-fashioned pocket knife is just better. And it's for a number of reasons. One is, if you're a mature adult, you're not going out to cause trouble, and your area law allows you to carry a knife, even if there's restrictions like here in Canada. We have restrictions. We can't use the knife in self-defense. We can't go causing trouble with it, obviously. Why would you want to? That'd be stupid. You can't go waving it around. Okay, I can agree with that. Except for the self-defense part, I think that's a little unfair. But the other two, I can agree with that, right? So, I can legally carry a knife. And you know what? I'd prefer it. Like I said, as long as you're not stupid with it, if you know the laws, if you're reasonable, if you go out there carrying a Bowie knife, you may as well not ever carry a fucking knife. I'm sorry. I mean, even if you're in an area where they allow you to carry a big knife, if you're gonna walk around with a Bowie knife on your belt, just because, like, you're not going hunting, you're not going fishing or some other, outdoorsy activity. If you're not doing that, like, you could be walking to the convenience store for a pack of smokes, and you just have a Bowie knife on your belt. If it's the middle of the night, and you're carrying a Bowie knife on your belt to go and get smokes, okay, I get that. If I could carry a knife that big in the middle of the night, I would. But I'm talking middle of broad daylight, you're just going for a casual stroll, like to a park, and you want to carry a Bowie knife, I'd just leave your knives at home, because that's impractical. There's no reason why you're going to need a knife that big. At least chances are you won't need it. And third, even if your area laws allow you to do it, a lot of cops actually aren't familiar with that area's knife legislation. It's hard to believe, but it's true. A lot of them will just see the big knife on your belt and assume you're out to cause trouble. Without even checking the laws, they'll take the knife from you. Something like this you can get away with no matter where you are, except for England. Now they're starting to ban all the knives over there. So I'd rather carry this. Now, let's say things were a little different, okay? And this is what I meant by it depends on the situation. Let's say laws were a little different. Let's say I couldn't carry this because it's solely a knife. I couldn't carry this because it looks tactical black, or maybe I was going somewhere where I couldn't have a knife, where I couldn't get away with carrying this, alright? Then maybe this would be a better choice. Let's say I worked a job in construction, which I have before, but currently I do not. But when I worked a job in construction, I did carry this, and I gotta say it was a lot better choice than just the knife. But like, since I don't, I carry this. But let's say all the factors were in. I can't carry a knife. I'm working a manual labor job where I constantly am in need of tools, and I can't walk around with a tool belt all day because that's just stupid and impractical. Well, you know what? Then I'd say, yeah, go for this. If your job, your lifestyle demands that you need all these tools at once, so what if it's a little extra weight than a knife? I'd say go for it, because it really is a handy tool. So, those are my thoughts on multi-tools versus knives in terms of carry for EDC, which is everyday carry. Those are my thoughts, and that's what I think.